And joining me on the broadcast this evening, I'd like to introduce Sushant Sareen, Senior Fellow ORF, Strategic Affairs Expert, Ashok Sajjanhar, former Indian diplomat, and my colleagues Geeta, Mohan and Preeti Chaudhary. A very good evening to all of you. Geeta, I want to come to you first. And to begin by saying how angry I feel at what happened. As you open the show and speak on behalf of all women journalists listening to you today, how do you describe the sentiment of how infuriated we are at this decision?
Well, it is quite infuriating because we have been covering foreign policy for decades, and not once have we ever been discriminated against for our gender. And a policy decision could have been taken on whether if see, there have been many visits in the past as well. Not every delegation that comes holds a separate press briefing. There could have been a conversation where they could have been asked not to hold a press conference separately. Should this be the rules in terms of engagement that women journalists will not be allowed? I myself, for one, because I cover the beat, and I had to engage with the delegation, the arriving delegation, kept messaging everybody. I also lodged a protest with somebody very senior who looks into foreign policy when it comes to the Afghan Taliban, a very senior official there. And I lodged a protest saying that this is absolutely unfair. But because we knew that we're not being allowed, we waited to see whether if we will be getting invitations or not, and for the press conference to take place. And there was some journalists who did turn up at the Afghan embassy, and they were told that their names are not on the list. Now, they did not explicitly spell out that they're not allowing women in, but not a single person on that select group of journalists. There are a select group of journalists that are every delegation interacts with, but not a single person on that delegation list, on that select list was a woman. And for one, I know all of us, some of us at least, who've covered the beat for a very, very long time, have never been barred from or never been part of the select group of journalists who interact with the senior delegations who come from various countries. So it was quite a shocker. One, that a press conference was being held in India, albeit Afghan embassy would be considered Afghan soil, their rules, but would be held in India, where Indian journalists are not allowed. We know what they do to women in Afghanistan, but to have them do that to us here in India was absolutely unacceptable. So yes, maybe a conversation could have been held. We do strategically require to engage Afghanistan, but doesn't mean we have to accept their rules, especially when it comes to discrimination against women. The condition that India has put to recognizing Taliban as a government, that there should be better treatment of women in Afghanistan,
right.
And they come and rub it in our face by doing it here in India.